Here's the thing with our evacuations that we want to be certain of. Make sure you have a plan of action in place. Make sure you practice that with your students. Have your helpers picked out. When it comes to emergency exits, always try to have the most responsible students sitting there. You must have a seating chart. That's required by the DOE. Have your most responsible students sitting by those emergency exits that are ready to go and in a flash. We're going to demonstrate the seatbelt at this time. It's basic operation, but it's something we must cover. So I am going to be the flight attendant, and I am going to sit down in the seat. I'm going to now place the seatbelt in its little locking mechanism, and it's now placed. Now, we must make sure that it's not sitting loose. Then in fact, you can put a couple fingers under there. We don't want to cut off anybody's circulation. We also don't want to make anybody uncomfortable when we're putting the seatbelt on, if need be. To release it, you push the button and the seatbelt comes off. And again, you have seat cutters. Those seat cutters will get through about 3 or 4 approximately seats. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do an emergency evacuation today. All right, this is just a drill. We are going to prepare for an actual event that could take place, such as maybe a semi hitting our school bus or even a car. It could catch on fire and we would need to get off the bus as soon as we could. Alright, so at this time what we're going to do is we are going to evacuate the bus using only the rear emergency door. So, my helpers are going to be a total of 5. I'm going to have 2 of you standing at the back door. Alright, when we exit the bus, we are going to exit seat by seat. You have a school bus that has 4 window alarms. They open out. And the window goes out in that direction. This school bus has 2 roof hatches. You turn the handle, push out, and it has released the roof hatch. And in this, I like to take 2 students, one at the back and one at the front, and allow them to do that so they can actually see how that operates. And the same goes for students that are now sitting by the emergency windows. Have them lift the handle, have them open it, and they can see how. So at this time what we're going to do is we're going to evacuate. We're going to demonstrate seat by seat. Whenever you evacuate the school bus, you should always have the students go seat by seat. Basically, they should not stand up until the seat before them is clear. What we would do and how we would handle an evacuation from the back only. If you are coming from the back and you're evacuating out the back door, you are going to go seat by seat, 22 to 21, 20 to 19. The students should not be standing up until it's time for them to step out of their seat. So what I'm going to demonstrate and what I'm going to talk about is the safety features that are on a school bus. Alright, all of our students need to be aware that these features are on our school bus. Your school bus windshield, if you notice, has a large rubber seal on it. And that, what it does is, that is set up so that this window can be popped out in an emergency. The windows have to be hit at center mass. So here and here, that is the spot that you have to hit the window and they will pop out. Now, they are very tough to pop out because they are designed to obviously withhold wind and everyday driving. But they will pop out. Any window that you see on a school bus that has a large seal like that is able to pop out. You can use a fire extinguisher, you can use your feet, but the windows will come out. The window here on the door has this. On the rear emergency door and the rear windows, those windows are also designed so that they can pop out. If there's a side emergency door, it's going to have a window that has that design, and also a wheelchair door would also have that design. So those windows are able to pop out. The emergency release to the door, and this will release the pressure, is right there. You release that pressure and the door will open. Emergency equipment is located up here for the fire extinguisher, and fire extinguishers are located at all different locations on every different type of bus that we have. Triangles, first aid kit, and your body fluid cleanup kit there. So those are some of the safety features on this particular bus and where they're located at. The 2-way radio, we would teach the students that they are going to push down and they are going to listen for the beep, and they can then talk into the radio and speak to our dispatchers and let them know the emergency situation that we're in. There is a service door button. This is the location of it. You press it and it's going to open the door. The red switch here will actually activate the lights. Now, I like to teach the students to activate the lights if the driver is incapacitated, because that will alert motorists that there's something wrong. The emergency parking brake is right here. You pull it out, and it's going to lock the bus up. Now, if the driver is in a position where they have slumped over the wheel and the student has to pull that, the student needs to be prepared for the bus to come to a sudden stop. All right, let's see. There is also the seatbelt cutter, which is on this particular bus is going to be located down here. Now this is going to get at least 3 or 4 seatbelts cut, and when you go in, you just simply go in and swipe it. So 3 or 4 seatbelts are what you're going to get out of that, because it's going to become very dull. Hi, this is Juan, and we're going to go ahead and do a voiceover since on this particular day we had a lot of wind and an alarm that was distorting the sound. This is a rear door evacuation. What I'm doing right now is demonstrating that the reason the prop rod is there, to lock in position so that it doesn't close on students when they're exiting from a bus due to wind or water or the bus being on its side. This is my assistant Matt Lomas from McAllister's, and they are our salespeople for the Bluebird school bus. Basically, we're going to demonstrate to you how students should properly exit the school bus. As you can see, I'm bringing Matt forward and getting him in position, as well as myself, so that students will be able to exit the bus by using our shoulders. They will need to come down to their bottom, or they will need to kneel down and use our shoulders and then step down off of the bus. This will make sure that they are exiting the bus in a safe manner and that there is no injury, and there must not be any rushing. Our lovely assistant Karen is demonstrating how we should use our hands, or they should use their hands on our shoulders. And as you can see, it's setting us both up so that no one is injured while exiting the bus through the rear door. She will need to come straight down on her feet while using our shoulders. So, we will not actually have Karen exit at this time, but we will now demonstrate picking up under the armpit. If the students are evacuating fast and they are at the back of the bus, they can exit by the assistants basically using the armpit to exit them. Okay, at this time we're going to talk about special needs evacuations. Now, special needs evacuations, there's a lot more scenarios that could basically occur out there. When you have a mix of students that are mobile and students that are not mobile, such as in wheelchairs, you're going to have to, basically move as many students as you can as quickly as you can. The students that are mobile, you will go ahead and you will have them exit the bus. Use a marker, something that your special needs students can identify with. Tell them that that's where they're going to go and that's where they're going to stand, such as maybe a large tree or a Dairy Queen sign. Go stand under the Dairy Queen sign, something that's far enough away so that they're safe. Feel free to use somebody like such as the general public. If you're in an emergency situation, have somebody help you with extra hands, because more than likely you're not going to have a situation where you have extra helpers unless you have a parapro on your bus. The last students that will more than likely be evacuated will be your students that are in wheelchairs. Depending on your situation, you have to make the choice whether or not you're going to exit with the wheelchair, or if you're going to have to get the student out of the wheelchair and take them outside. And that concludes our discussion about school bus evacuations. Please feel free, as always, to come and ask questions if you're unsure of something. Thank you for all that